In this video, let us look at how we can separate the inks in different colored markers by using chromatography. Using a filter paper, we first draw a start line about 1.5 centimeters from the base using a pencil. Next, we apply small but concentrated spots of our samples on the piece of chromatography paper. This is important to ensure that there is enough sample as the individual components will be diluted when they move along the paper. If the sample spots are too large, it will be difficult to distinguish the individual spots on the chromatogram. The spot is made as small as possible so as to prevent tailing, as well as smudging when the inks or dyes are being separated. To begin, we first add a small amount of a suitable solvent to the beaker. Moving on, we now place the chromatography paper and immerse it in the solvent. You can see that as the solvent moves up the chromatography paper, it carries the different dyes along with it. Dyes which are more soluble in the solvent will migrate faster and further along the chromatography paper. Here we see the solvent front moving upwards. When the solvent front has reached near the top, we then remove the chromatogram and mark the solvent front with a pencil line. Let us take a look at the results. We find that many of the inks are made up of a mixture of dyes except for the yellow one, because there is only one spot. We can say that the yellow ink is pure because it is only made up of one dye. The black ink is a mixture of 3 different dyes, of which the blue dye is the most soluble in the solvent as it has travelled the furthest. The blue ink is a mixture of 2 different dyes, one blue and one purple, and the purple dye is insoluble in water, that's why it remained at the start line and did not migrate up the paper. For the dyes that were not well separated, we can consider changing the solvent. Now let